Hello everyone, Morgie Roy here. If you have ever made a bard in D&D 5e and got to the spot where you choose proficiency in a musical instrument, you might have seen a long list of instrument options you don't recognize and wondered what some of them are. So I'm here to explain them, including the ones that don't actually exist. We'll start with the more well-known instruments for a Western audience: bagpipes, clarinet, drum, fiddle, flute, harp, horn, and trumpet. Trumpets, clarinets, and flutes, or at least the Western concert flutes, are probably known by most people who took music classes in school or band. Scottish Highland bagpipes are played here in North America frequently for many events, and most kids have played a drum or a small harp since the age that they could sit up on their own. A fiddle is just a colloquial term for a violin usually associated with English or Irish folk music, and a horn can mean any number of instruments, but North America is most associated with the bugle or the French horn. All of these instruments have existed since ancient times in more simple forms, but have traveled here with European settlers as they colonized the continent. Some lesser-known choices available for bards in D&D are the dulcimer, which could mean both the hammered or the stringed variety. They have come from many countries including, but not limited to, Greece, Iran, Iraq, India, Pakistan, and China. The hammered version is shaped like a trapezoid and sits on the floor or on legs and hit with a small mallet in each hand, while the string version has 4 strings and sits upon the player's legs and is strummed. The lyre appears to be a harp, but is actually in the lute family, and although being very associated with ancient Greece, they go as far back as ancient Mesopotamia. Lutes appear guitar-like and are the forebears of guitars, and go back as far as ancient Babylonia and Egypt. Pan flutes are made of reeds or bamboo in different lengths, and are named after the god Pan, who invented the instrument in Greek myths. Shawms are woodwind instruments that are made from a single piece of wood and end in a flared bell, somewhat like that of a trumpet. The modern oboe is the ancestor of this instrument, which appeared in ancient Greece and Egypt and was brought to Europe during the Crusades. A viol is a stringed instrument that resembles a larger violin or a smaller cello, and has frets like a guitar. They were popular in earlier times before violins were invented, and were created in Venice. Now we get to the musical instruments that exist in the Forgotten Realms, which is the main setting for D&D 5e, and that seem to be inspired by real-life instruments, but have names that are not associated with real-life instruments. These are the bird pipes, which are smaller pan flutes, the glar and the gloon, which is a French horn and a bugle respectively, but sound like trumpets, the longhorn, which is a flute, but I really want it to be an Alp horn, as in those giant horns that they play in the Alps. A songhorn, which is also a simple flute or recorder. A tan-tan, which is just a tambourine that happened to be popular with halflings, maybe a small tambourine. A thalar, which is a reed flute. A lot of these are flutes. A tocsin, which is a hanging set of carved oval bells, usually played with a pair of light wooden hammers. Seems like a lot to carry around for me, but, make it work. A war gong, which is a metal gong traditionally made from a shield, particularly the shield of an enemy. A yarting, which is a Fabrinian guitar. And a zulkun, which is a complex pump organ. Most of these fantasy-named instruments come from the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, but if you come across them the next time you make a bard, now you will know what they are. All these instruments also have lore and places of origin in the Forgotten Realms, but I don't really want to get into that right now, but feel free to look into it yourself. You might even be inspired for your character. I hope the descriptions of some of these instruments helped you get more of an understanding of how they look and sound next time you make a bard or a character who has a musical instrument proficiency. I find it all really interesting how so many cultures in the world separately invented similar instruments, and then they were all exported to other cultures as people started traveling globally in the past. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope you're having a great day, and if you aren't having a great day, I hope your bad day is over with soon. See you next time. Bye-bye!